Student life, evangelization, and missionary discipleship in a digital age, here at the Lyke Catholic Intimate Center, serving Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Morris College, and Georgia State University. My name is Father Uri Patrick Mark, and I'm the director and chaplain at the Lyke House. This short video is birthed from our student discussion forum on evangelization in the digital age. In this video, you will encounter the journey of some of our collegians and emerging adults in a campus ministry setting.
My name is Rudy Schlosser, and I'm Father Uri Mark's assistant. I've been doing campus ministry for over 20 years. I've been doing campus ministry before we had social media, or it was only social. So for us to jump to this age of the digital transformation is just amazing to me in itself. My personal approach to these students has been on one-on-one approach, see them where they are. So in these videos of the students, you'll see exactly that. We're asking them questions about their faith as they are, and they're going to tell us their stories of how they grew up, how they interacted with their families, how they presently interact with their friends on campus, the challenges they face by just living their faith, the opposition they face by just trying to live their faith, trying to be themselves. And it's amazing when you see these stories of these students just share what it's like to be a student in today's digital age.
Yes, so you will be looking at other videos coming after this, and I would like you to just pay attention to how these young people are trying to connect and engage with each other and what brings them together, the liturgy, the music, and all of that. So look forward to seeing that and enjoy.
I grew up in an AME church my whole life. There's a picture of me outside of one. African Methodist Episcopal, one of the 7 denominations of Black Christianity. And I have always had a great love for the church and the people that I met within the church. Always very supportive. I remember Karen Glover. She was my original choir director, and she was just always encouraging me. I have been considering converting to Catholicism, and it's a very hard decision for me because of how my mother is. But I have found great companionship within this church, which I somewhat lost where I was before. I have felt that my journey has grown being here, and I've started reading the Bible seriously since I've been here, which is something I didn't do in my other church. You know, I would listen to the scripture, I would listen to the preacher give his word, and in a very big way, this church has been a very big home for me and has been the place where I can find solstice when I need it. Father Mark, you're the best. You've always supported me also. Doc, I love you. And yeah, I really have grown here, and I can see myself growing a lot here.
And one of our popes, he's called Pope PORTICUS. He defines evangelization as this: bringing the good news into all the strata of humanity, and through its influence, transforming humanity from within and making it new. And then he goes on to speak in this document called Evangelii Nuntiandi, which means the evangelization of the world. He said, transforming humanity from within. That is an inner transformation that leads to a newness of life in the spirit, newness of purpose in our call to discipleship, and newness in our zeal to evangelize. And that is very important because here at the Lyke House, like most of you experience in the Bowman Scholars, the Newman Scholar program, the liturgy provides a sacred space for that transformation, for that getting close to God, getting close to Christ. You make the journey in the liturgy through the music. You journey to the altar of God. You listen to his word, the responsorial psalms, you proclaim it so well, and then you go through the Gloria, giving God the glory so that we can be sanctified. We ask God for mercy at the beginning of the Mass. So all of those ingredients in the Catholic liturgy is focusing on that transformation of a person to always be renewed in the presence of God so that you can become disciples, not just for yourself, but disciples for the Lord and disciples for the others.
I really needed to anchor in my faith and know him for myself, because in my family I was always with my family, so we know God, but do I know God? So I found myself reaching for him more often and taking the time to, I wake up at 6 in the morning just to pray, and then I'll go back to sleep. Or I have an alarm set at 12 every day so that I can remind myself, take this time to pray or spend some time with God, even if I'm in the middle of doing something.
Raised in a family where we had religious freedom. I have a cousin that I grew up with as a brother who is a Seventh-day Adventist. I am a Catholic. My mother's a Catholic. My grandmother, she's Baptist. As long as we all have our own faith, it's our journey. God has his own plan for each of us, and I'm glad that, I was raised in a family that we all understand it. So coming to school and having these different problems that are new to me, being able to call on my family members and call on, Father Mark or anyone and just ask questions or just be around someone else with their own faith, it's helpful to myself. I am a computer science major, very hard, very, very hard. And I have to remember at times that this just was God showing me that this is something that I need to practice. This is something I need to work on. This is going to be important at some point in time, so I need to make sure that I, lock in and focus and put on my all into it. So, yeah.
And I want to touch on evangelization and say, going back a couple of years, so my junior year of high school, we all have a chance to go on this Kairos retreat. It's basically just 3 days, no phones. We're out, not in the woods, we're out at a little retreat spot, and it's just filled with godly activities, everything. It sounds kind of boring, but it's really, really fun. And then your senior year, you get the opportunity to be one of the group leaders and lead it. And so I feel kind of hearing what the people were saying, I think a really important part of evangelization is also helping people find God when they used to know him, don't really know him anymore. And so obviously as a junior in high school, you're worried about the future, you're missing your path, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in your head. I think it's really, really easy to get distracted from the fact that God is there for you. So this little 3-day weekend type thing, it's really, really a reset. And on maybe the second to last day or maybe the last day, we all just get to be really vulnerable with each other and share, and you can feel God in the room. It's actually unreal. And I think another big part of the Kairos retreat is the music that we play, and also hearing what other people were saying, talking about the Lyke music and just the music other churches that they've been to. I forgot how big a role music can play into that, because obviously you listen to sad music when you're sad, and you listen to happy music when you're going on and whatever. But I feel a really good, just I don't know, godly song, really get your heart and your mind, your soul in the place it needs to be. And so I feel being at Lighthouse and being able to sing all these types of songs is also really calming and resetting, and we're saying it helps you start your week off really strong. And then also just finding that community when we are singing and we are making people cry who are sitting out in the chairs. I think it's really awesome to be here at Lighthouse. So that's what I want to say.
One reason I enjoyed this particular video so much is because this student reminded me of the times when I was in high school, of a retreat that I took when I was in high school, how we had to break away from technology and just focus on our own lives and our relationship to God. And what she said was so reminiscent of what I went through as a high school student. Think about what you went through as a high school student, and then how you transitioned to college, how in high school you were very secured, you weren't doing things on your own, and now suddenly you're an adult in college. You have to do everything on your own, think on your own, and face these challenges on your own. And she does a great example of story of doing that. Now to the next set of videos.
I cherish the experience of coming here for Mass. I cherish the experience of listening to the choir sing wonderful songs. And each time I'm here, I tell myself, I want to sing the songs, but above that, what I'm most interested in is I want to listen to the song. I want to pick the words. I want the words to address certain challenges in my life. When I'm coming into the church, I come with my troubles, and I try to ensure that I don't get distracted. And I tell myself that at the end of the day, I don't want to go back home with the troubles I came into the church with. And the choir happens to be one of the best tools I've always used in overcoming some of my challenges. I pick every word that the choir says. I meditate on them while in the train, while in the class, and I have the accompaniment of the sermon from our wonderful priest to also help me with my aspiration towards being a better place. So the Lyke House has been a wonderful place for experiencing and encountering Jesus for me.
Thank you, Alapa.
Then, like, through most of my life, even though, like, my family was very religious, I wasn't really religious because I went to a church that was very, very negative, and they were always, like, being really, really hateful. So I was kind of like, okay, but why would I want to, like, practice this if all of you guys just come here and you guys are just being hateful every single time I'm here? And then, so I came to college, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna go to, like, any services or anything, because it just didn't appeal to me at all. But then, like, a few weeks into me being here, like, there was something that happened where, like, I found out that somebody who I thought I could trust had been hurting people, and that he could have hurt me, and I was just feeling very, very emotional about it. So I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the church at Sister's Chapel just because. And it definitely, like, really helped me feel a lot better. So I think that, like, no matter, like, what happens with me religiously, I do want to be a bit more open to, like, learning a bit more, if that makes sense.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacarla, but I go by Sue. So for me, when we speak about evangelization, I was evangelized. I've been Catholic for about 9 years, I want to say, almost 9 years. My family is Baptist, and so we are Christian, but I'm the only Catholic in my family. I started going to Catholic school 8th grade, and that love I felt in the room, like whenever I walked into my school or anywhere, it just was transformative. It made me feel different about who I was and how I interacted with people, so that was how I became Catholic. Being here today, it has definitely transformed me. One, because I've never experienced an all-black Catholic church before, and that was really good for me. And like Alakbar said, the choir really did it for me. I think my third time hearing you guys sing, I cried. Like, I was in my sweatpants, my hoodie, I'm just like, y'all didn't see me cry. But, you know, that really transformed and helped me, you know, be comfortable in my faith, and just to have and be a part of a congregation where we're comfortable. That's the biggest thing, comfortability. You know, it is an obligation, but like Olivia touched on, it's not something that feels like you're obligated to do, in the sense that it's a chore. You know, it's fun. I enjoy coming here, and I enjoy my Thursdays, my Tuesdays, my Sundays here with you guys. I'm just reading my daily mass readings every day. I do that every day, and thankfully, and to the Lyke House for, you know, planting the seed in me for me to, you know, just experience mass every day, because I know we do have mass at GSU every day, and I can't go, but it does make me feel like I'm at church. Like, I think about Father Mark, and, you know, and I think about Jessica and everyone else here every morning when I'm reading my prayers. So it really is like a great routine to have, and coming here, I do enjoy it.
Used to, but like continuously going like Sunday in and Sunday out, I'm starting to warm up, and I really appreciate coming in here on Sundays, because like it's a refresher. As my sister over here said, it's really like a reset on my week, and I go into my week a better person because of it.
Community, because growing up, I also grew up in church, and I had community at the beginning when I was younger, but when my parents broke off and started a sister church to evangelize in a smaller area, I was left with kind of no one my age. So it was very hard to relate to anything going on because I was sharing, church with people that were old enough to be my grandparents. And obviously, the preachings would pertain to them. So they'd be talking about issues I've never even begun to think about in my life, and I never really related. So, my version, when I was really hoping that in college I could find a community of people that were Christian and devoted, but also my age and people I could relate to with real, problems for people our age. And I feel like the Lighthouse really brought that to me. And I'm really glad that I have a community of people from all kinds of different backgrounds and states, but we're all the same age and we're all going through a similar journey. So I feel really blessed to have this place here. As for evangelization, I grew up watching it a lot, especially on my mom. She was very, very keen on evangelization. She was really good at it, but I couldn't do it like her.
I completely agree. I think that music has been such a strong vehicle to get to God directly, especially when I don't have the words in prayer or I don't have the focus that I need when listening to the sermon. And so praise and worship has always been the part of service that, one, it's first, and so it lays the foundation. It sets the atmosphere for how you want God to move in that space. But at home, it just provides an opportunity for me to connect to God without having the communion of other individuals in our church. And so it allows me to have that direct connection with God.
Growing up in Liberia, music has always been a part of our culture. From since I was 6 years old, my brother sang, my mom did, my grandma, she did. She would come and watch us sing in the crowd and just cheer us on. And I feel like that's where my love for music came about. And I've been singing in the church, worshiping with my fellow friends and family in the church, and also just expressing my love for God. And when I came to the States and seeing young adults like me, worshiping, having so much love for their religion, having so much love for their faith, and just doing it with their whole heart, it really inspired me to be a member of the Spelman College Glee Club and to continue singing and to be a Bowman Scholar. So that's music from my end.
I truly hope you've enjoyed this collection of the different presentations that the students have given about their personal lives. I myself enjoyed it so much because I got to know them better than just from seeing them in church or at our different Thursday events we have. I got to really know them as a person, the struggles they have, and it's gotten me to pray for them more and to pray for exactly what they need in their life. And I hope you join us in this prayer. I truly hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.
How can we embrace, engage, and empower our young people to be missionary disciples in the context of student life and evangelization on campus? This project is made possible by a grant from PORTICUS North America for the Lighthouse Digital Library Missionary Discipleship Project. And so we thank PORTICUS, we thank our students in ministry, and we thank our friends from CAU TV. Thank you.